Muxine Jadwat, a late call-up for this match. Paul McBlain, initially named as the first-grade referee. And in this first stanza, the Magpies to defend the northern end of Brookvale Oval. And John Skandalis is the first man in black and white to cart the football up, and he's tackled on his own 20. At this juncture, we'll say a very good afternoon to Warren Boland on the sideline. In fact, Manly come up with possession and will now go on the attack with some very good field position. Nick Kosef advances the football, tackled about 6 metres out from the line. A less than satisfactory start from Tom Rodonicus's point of view. Now Damien Driscoll, another former Gold Coast Charger. There's plenty of them on display here this afternoon. Away from Tuvey, he elects to sweep the ball towards the eastern side of the field. Now picked up by the powerhouse Terry Hill, who goes charging toward the line. We'll get to Warren Boland shortly. Here's a chance for Manly from dummy half, with the Western Suburbs defence equal to the task. Now towards the open side from Brown across to Kosef, who stands and offloaded brilliantly. And Manly are going to be pulled up about 5 metres short on tackle number 5. Cliff Lyons wants it, but they elect to cut him out from Kosef across to Brown. Grabbing kick, plenty of pressure here for Western Suburbs. Manly chase was good.
Mate.
Let's now go down to Warren Boland. G'day, Warren.
G'day, Tappy, and it looks like referee Muxine Jadwat is going to check whether or not that was a try in the corner to Manly. But an early mistake by West, not a good sign. Both teams will be looking for a big improvement on their defence, which has been poor this season. They've conceded 450 and 520 points, and this is very close on that dead ball line. Looks like it's just gone long. It should be no try. But let's hope there is some good, aggressive, tough defence from both teams, reminiscent of the great clashes of the late 70s and early 80s.
Certainly, oh, gee, that is close, isn't it? From our angle, I was sure it was no try initially. What do you think, Mario?
Well, on the line is out. So I'm thinking that's long.
Andrew Frew.
So you'll see the red light, and there it is there, no try. But the worst possible start from Western Suburbs, dropping the ball on the first tackle. They're going to be competitive in this game. They need to control the football.
Western Suburbs, this is Scott Coxon. Established himself in the run on side. Now Harvey Howard, very important from Western Suburbs' point of view. Very good at getting the hard yards, and now Mesha making a brilliant run out of dummy half. He's tackled just short of the halfway line. This is a much better set from Western Suburbs so far. Now stepping is Luke Goodwin, another one of the second generation players in the Western Suburbs club. 104 previous meetings, Manly having the best of that statistic with 60 victories. As now Chris Marland goes for a run for Western Suburbs. He'll be tackled on the Manly 40 by Tuvey and also Daniel Gartner. A kick which is going to put some pressure on Manly. Flying high though, Brendan Reeves, nice job.
There's John Hopewade there. Refreshing to see John. There's a lovely take there by Reeves. Leaves the ground, no problem with that. But John Hopewade, his form over the last couple of weeks, he might have learned from his mistakes. John Hopewade, a player with great ability.
He did well, in fact, Hopewade, in trying to attempt the diffusion of that high kick. He did provide some protection for Brendan Reeves, which is obviously very important in that situation. Now Terry Hill goes for a burst down the eastern side of this field. Kosef, the clearing kick, and Brett Hodgson, a player I've personally got raps on. Good young footballer, comes back with it now for Western Suburbs. He's plenty tough too for a youngster and a small youngster.
You've just given him a rap.
Given him the greatest mock job of all time.
You'd stop a train. The young bloke, Hodgson, normally solid as a rock, comes up and takes the tackle and spills the football. So another poor mistake by this Western Suburbs side. See Muxine Jadwat.
Coming with a swinging arm. It was aimed at the body.
All right.
Okay, but we played on. I just want to let him know that I'm onto it.
All right.
Okay.
Hastings lead to niggle. I don't need it.
John Skandalis being addressed by referee Jadwat.
Go in, Cherry, go in.
So the Sea Eagles
Keep your lock in, keep your
will
lock in.
feed the scrum on the West 30. Now from Brown, away to the magician Cliff Lyons. Now Reeves injects himself into the play. Got inside the first man, and Hodgson came from behind to claim him. Kosef away to Menzies now. Back to, oh gee, the ball almost came out of the back. Did well to control it. Now Terry Hill hitting the ball at pace. Big and strong, hard to stop. Western Suburbs managed to do it though. Back across the park through Brown, off to Driscoll. Led by Tate Mosley. Football stays alive. Cliff Lyons has got numbers and choices. Lyons to Menzies. How appropriate is that? How many times have we seen it? And on Cliffy's 300th first-grade game for Manly, he's done it again.
Well, it was always on. The offload was superb, and the numbers were there. And you could see Menzies, his eyes opened up like disc plates. He knew the try was on. Lyons to Menzies. How many times have we said that, as David Tapp said before? The offload was a beauty. What about the little short pass? Lyons to Menzies. And there's been so many tries scored that way. Once he gets the football, watch him hold the ball out in front of him. Just hold the ball in front. And just a little deft pass. And he's been doing that for what it seems to be an eternity. Great try there.
So Manly race to a 4-0 lead as you look at another angle. Menzies, and of course that all came from another Western Suburbs mistake. Hodgson, after being tackled by Kosef, couldn't handle. The scrum subsequently packed, and the rest is history. So now Adam Brown will attempt this conversion about 18 metres out and 9 metres in from the western touchline. Ideal start for the Sea Eagles. Not an overly big crowd in this afternoon. I would have expected more for Cliffy Lyons' 300th. Very warm. Brown push that away. That certainly is no goal. Scoreline remains the same. The Sea Eagles 4 leading the Magpies no score after 6 minutes of play here at Brookvale.
A good offload by one of the Manly forwards. I think it was Damien Driscoll gave them this extra shot at it, and they move it wide, and really Cliff Lyons had 3 options there. He picked out Menzies, and he goes over for what was an easy try. Lyons could have thrown it to the 2 wider men and they would have scored as well. But 2 handling errors from West early in the game, really putting them right on the back foot.
Back underway.
Isn't Steve Menzies glad that Cliffy Lyons has been around for 300 first-grade games? He has capitalised on Lyons' brilliant ball play.
And Steve Menzies getting close to a remarkable milestone of scoring 100 tries. When he reaches that, as he undoubtedly will, he's one of only 3 forwards to have achieved that.
In fact, I believe Steve Menzies suffered as a result of Cliff Lyons' poor form earlier in the season, where we saw Menzies really struggle to find some form, but Lyons and Menzies have formed a great combination as we see Hodgson now. Let's see if he can hold on to the football this time.
I'm sure he will. He takes the tackle on his own 30. Oh, scrappy play the ball. Jadwat awards the penalty to Western Suburbs against Terry Hill.
It's interesting to see this replay. I think Hodgson probably contributed to this mistake here. Here it comes here. Tackled by Hill, you'll find. And watch him get to his feet. I don't really think Hill has anything to do with that. Oh, well, I might be wrong. I'd say the referee's got that one right. I stand corrected.
No problem. So West, another error, this time from Luke Goodwin. That is the 3rd error early in the tackle count for Western Suburbs. They're putting themselves under plenty of pressure.
Well, they should make a tape. How to lose a football game, and they'll show the first 5 or 10 minutes of this game, because Western Suburbs, right at their own end of the field, are dropping the football cold. I don't care how good you are, you just cannot keep defending your own mistakes.
Lyons fed the scrum on that occasion from Brown. Inside pass. Streaking away is Albert Torrens. They won't catch him. Another 4-pointer. Manly 8. Western Suburbs no score. They had the field position. It all happened quickly. Western Suburbs didn't mark up for the inside ball, Mario. And Torrens ran onto it like a steam train.
Well, field position, scrum on the 40-metre line. Torrens, and one thing Torrens has got is plenty of pace. And once he cracks through the line, there's few players that can pull him up. That's the payback. Western Suburbs pay the ultimate price. Scrum, it's obviously a set play. Brown, little turn on the inside. Poor missed tackle there. That was Scott Coxon. And then Torrens, as you can see there, he's confident he's going to get to the line, right underneath the post. So that's another try for the Manly side, and another mistake by Western Suburbs. That's punished severely.
Brown will attempt the conversion from 10 metres out right in front. And as you just said, Western Suburbs paying the ultimate price for their inept play in completing sets early in this match. Tom Rodonicus, whom I'm sure will get several shots off throughout the course of this match, would not be a happy man, even at this early stage after 8.5 minutes. So Brown will have no problems with this. Flags in the air. And obviously the Seagulls now advanced to 10 on the scoreboard. Western Suburbs no score. Warren Boland.
A simple play by Manly, just turning it inside, and Scott Hodgson had broken from the scrum. He had it covered, but he just hesitated. Then he may have slipped as well. In the end, he had to dive at Albert Torrance, couldn't make the tackle. Steve Georgalis breaking from lock forward, couldn't get there as well, and Albert Torrance just too fast, but a simple play and should have been cut off.
So Wests, due to mistakes, find themselves under increasing pressure now. Driscoll to play it for Manly. 20 out from their own line. Daniel Gartner in the centre of the park. 25 out. Owen Cunningham for the Manly side. A veteran of the game. What a player he's been over a long period of time. Kosef has been busy in this match, hasn't he? Handling at every available opportunity. Now Brown looking for the clearing kick towards the eastern touchline. Oh, bounces once and in fact went out on the full.
So probably one of the first mistakes Manly have made in this first half. In fact, I'm very impressed by Manly's ball control. Consequently, Western Suburbs are bumbling and fumbling their way. Manly are controlling the football and putting a lot of pressure on this Western Suburbs defence.
Leo Dinova is warming up on the sideline. He'll be thrust into action by coach Veronica shortly.
Easy, no, wait. Outside foot,
late change by
outside
the
foot,
West
John.
coach just prior to the kickoff of this match, deciding to leave Dinova on the bench for the start after being named in the run-on side on Wednesday. Now Hodgson throws the dummy, had McGuinness coming back on the inside. Claimed quickly by Lyons and also the try scorer Albert Torrance. In 15 is Matt Fuller for Western Suburbs.
First time Wests have carried the ball into Manly's half.
Good point. Howard, the run around with Goodwin. Away on the outside. This time it's with Chris Marland. The football kept alive. Now it's Mesha looking for support players. Has one now in Matt Fuller. Some heavy defence. Lyons across the top. Shook his teeth. Now Scandalis, who's as tough as they come. He can cop the punishment. Don't worry about that. And there is some big hits here at the moment. Mesha inside the Georgalis across the field and set up a beautiful pass which went to ground. Travis Baker
knock on both
onto
ways,
the ball.
no advantage to
Yeah,
Manly.
another ball goes astray. Western Suburbs, they're just their game plan at the moment. It's a little offline. This ball should have been taken. Travis Baker loses the ball cold, and any pressure that was starting to build on the Manly side was released instantaneously. But Manly, to their credit, are controlling the football. As we see Terry Hill now on the blind side. Big strong run by Terry Hill.
Did beautifully to find Andrew Frew on his right. Great run by Hill. Good support by Frew, who's felled on the halfway line. There's this Manly strike power for you so far this season. Conceding 4.8 tries per game. That's obviously been a problem for them. Now Kosef inside pass. Daniel Gartner striding into open pasture. He's got support on the inside and the out. Oh. Gee whiz, I can't believe they didn't go on with it there. There seem to be Seagulls jumpers everywhere.
Hill was screaming for it and didn't get the ball, as we see Adam Brown.
Yeah, Brown a little indecisive on that occasion. He's tackled in the centre of the park, 15 out. Lyons from dummy half elects to go for the stabbing kick. Hopawate is there, couldn't get it. It's got soap on it.
Lyons, that's one of his great talents. He's good, got good vision. Lyons out of dummy half, sees the wing might have a bit of a hole on the outside there. Lovely little kick too, and there wasn't much in this. Just fails to control the ball, Hopawate. What a try that would have been. A little bit of Lyons magic there. And oh, that was fingertip stuff.
Well, it's the second time in this game we've seen Lyons magic.
More dangerous though, the break by Gartner down the right-hand side, breaking the West defence.
It's good to see Gartner running back into form too, Warren.
Yeah, he's been a little quiet at times. And Daniel Gartner, one of the players you could expect to be in the running for State of Origin honours in most seasons.
Reading the other day, and I found it interesting that Craig Innes, who of course made such a great contribution to Manly, fabulous centre three-quarter, is allegedly looking at returning to rugby league.
Well, what a great player he proved to be with Manly.
The postman, which is nickname. Always delivered.
And defensively very, very powerful. But I must say, Western Suburbs, that set of six in attack then was absolutely pitiful. Did not get too many yards and just slow play the balls. Although there's a bit of better defence from Western Suburbs. They need to try and increase their intensity, Western Suburbs, although that's not going to help them. They release the pressure on Manly, penalty.
Give you the call.
So Jad Watt awarding the penalty to the Sea Eagles, who will shoot for touch on the western side of the ground as you look at the replay. And actually touched by Brett Hodgson, that touch finder. The linesman on this side of the field confirming that. Western Suburbs, I actually saw them behind the grandstand warming up before we came on air this afternoon, and they were all geeing one another up about the need for enthusiasm. They were screaming and yelling, and it hasn't happened so far.
Well, yeah, talk's cheap off the field. You've got to be able to do it on the field, and Western Suburbs aren't doing that at the moment. They look just, they're not talking and they're not moving up in defence.
Another chance for Frew as he races down the eastern touchline. He's going to get there. Western Suburbs can't compete here at the moment. Another Manly four-pointer to Andrew Frew.
Oh, worrying
Very nearly could have scored earlier too.
Yeah, the alarm bells are ringing already early in this game. 14 points to nil after 15 minutes. Western Suburbs just making so many errors.
Mario, every time Manly attacks the left-hand side of Western Suburbs' defence, it is bearing fruit for them. That has to be the fourth break we've seen on that side of the field in the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, but just terrible defence. I don't care what side you attack, but what's the offload by Kosef? And this defence here, he's got to be tidied up. One miss there, another one on the inside. That's just not even reserve grade type of football. Western Suburbs have got no one to blame but themselves. Manly able to capitalise. Lyons a dummy half. This pass by Kosef, nice and flat. Frew didn't seem to have much on. He shows a fair bit of pace here, Frew. He can't believe his luck. He's bouncing out of tackles. He thinks, hello, I'm in here.
Even Travis Baker trying to attempt some form of ankle tap when he was close enough to crunch him. So Andrew Frew breaking through. His 11th career try. So obviously Manly now have the opportunity to rub salt right into the wound with a relatively easy conversion for Adam Brown. 12 metres out and about 7 or 8 metres to the right of the posts. This will be 16-0. All Manly at this juncture. There it is, 16-0. And there's a long, long way to go in this game.
It was 3-on-3 on that blind side, and really Barry Davis just didn't mark his man. He's got to give respect to Frew. Andrew Frew, the leading try scorer in the competition, for the Sea Eagles, with 9 tries already. This makes 10. And Barry Davis simply didn't mark him. He got caught on the inside, and he allowed him the alley down the line.
I believe at one stage Frew, certainly last year anyway, was the fastest player in the Manly club.
Well, I believe you. He showed plenty of toe there, didn't he? A little hole down the side there, and Barry Davis just didn't mark up, and Frew had the pace to go on with it. Manly now, they're playing with this Western Suburbs side. So you see Tuvey nearly go through.
It's dead set touch football. Tuvey, the little general, plays it on his own 40. Now Lyons, they've got a huge overlap again. Here they come again, the Sea Eagles. Menzies in support on the inside. Torrens obviously has the ball. Now Hopawate. It's all too easy. Another 4-pointer, thank you very much. We're only 20 minutes into the game. This scoreline's likely to be anything.
Yeah, Western Suburbs, just a very, very poor start. No effort at all. 20 points to nil. 18 minutes gone in the game. And it's just basic fundamental failure by Western Suburbs. The Lions pass was a beauty. Torrens, good pace there. Hopawate jockey on the inside. Gets that football. It was always going to be a try. Well-constructed try as well.
Torrens, unselfish play. He could have got there by himself probably. Menzies was also in support. It was always going to happen. There was a huge overlap on the left-hand side as Hopawate slams it down for the 4-pointer.
I must say, I expect the Western Suburbs to put a bit more fight up, and Lyons, that lovely flat pass there, and Torrens sees the space, and one thing this kid's got plenty of pace. Hopawate's jogging on the inside, takes a nice ball, and then it's just a formality into the in-goal area there, and Manly. Good start to the game for Manly. Almost perfect football. I can only recall them making one mistake, Manly, so far.
The way Western Suburbs are playing it reminds me of a clash against Penrith very early this season, I think in the second round, when West were walloped 60 to 6. Yep. I'm not trying to preempt a dark day for Western Suburbs, but they're playing just like they did that afternoon. Now Brown 15 metres out and 15 in from the Western touchline. Already kicked 2 goals this afternoon. He struck that quite beautifully. 22 points to 0 in favour of the Sea Eagles after 19 minutes of play.
And in round 10, Melbourne beat West 62-6, but they just didn't have the numbers on the right side here at all, Wests. And Ken McGuinness on the wing gets caught in no man's land, trying to come back in. He didn't make a tackle on anyone. Albert Torrance striding down, draws the fullback nicely. Hopewadi well positioned, finishes it off. But Wests are not numbering off at all. Simply their defence is all at sea.
There just doesn't appear to be any talk out there, Warren. I mean, you're on the sideline. The communication is non-existent from Western Suburbs.
Well, there's a lack of thought going in too. Obviously, the more you talk, the more organised your defence is, the more you G one another up, but you also have to look at your opposition and try and number off, and out wide they are not doing that. And Manly, to their credit, great ball play earlier from Kosef, that time from Lyons, putting him away down the sides.
Turney standing like the Rock of Gibraltar in the centre of the park, trying to find support. Good play by Tuvey in that ruck prior, got them going forward. Now Kosef, has he got time to get it away? No, he's wrestled the ground.
Well, there's a mistake there, one of the few, as I said before, in this first half. And Manly, the speed of their play of the ball. The Magpies need to try and slow the play of the ball down. Here it is here, the replay. Kosef, and there's Spence on top. Ooh, that ball goes astray. So a mistake by Manly, one of the few in this first half.
Outside foot, Johnny.
4 mistakes to Western Suburbs. In their own worst enemy. They get possession this time. Leo Dinova, his first touch of the afternoon. Now Hodgson, who made an error earlier in the match, and you very seldom see him do that. Look at those missed tackles. 14-3.
And you can tell who's missing the tackles.
Matt Fuller, full of enthusiasm, great run and then offloaded. He is a try of Fuller. Marlin to play it. Now Mesha away to Johnny Skandalis, who is a 100% player. Most times. Mesha away to Dinova, trying to get them organised. Out wide, of course, was Travis Baker, who got it away to nobody. And Manly come up with it again. So for the 5th time in this match so far, we see West turn it over cheaply.
Second handling error by Travis Baker. There's 2 sides in defence. Okay, you've got to make tackles, but when you've got the ball, you've got to build some pressure to make the opposition wear themselves down, having to tackle, and the Wests aren't doing either at the moment. They're giving the ball back, and they're not making tackles when they have to.
We just saw a possession statistic.
Oh, beautiful pass from Brown. Gartner, inside pass now to Terry Hill, who slips as the line was wide open. Steve Menzies, they're having a ball out here this afternoon, Manly. It's like a game of touch footy in the park. Was that a knock-on from Jeff Tuvey, a dummy half?
Yeah, knock-on by Tuvey, and thankfully so from Western Suburbs' point of view. Western Suburbs are failing in the fundamentals. Manly's speed of play of ball is just too quick. Here it is here. Looked like there was going to be a try for all money here. Gartner striding away. Terry Hill on the inside. Looked like he was going to score, but slipped over. The offload there to Menzies. And fortunately for Western Suburbs, they're able to scramble and tidy up. And then we saw, Menzies drops the ball cold there and a knock-on by Tuvey.
That was a lovely pass from Adam Brown to Daniel Gartner to start that raid. Lovely stuff from the Manly number 7. Shadows of Cliff Lyons. So West, can they build some momentum? Can they just build a decent set of 6?
Cliff Lyons at halfback for that scrum.
Yes, that's about the 2nd time in the match so far that's happened.
And Brown is throwing some good passes when he's standing one out.
Yeah, the Western Suburbs stat has increased now to an average 5.9 tries a game they're conceding. Started out this match at 4.8, so the stats are certainly heading in the wrong direction, as is the scoreline.
Western Suburbs are not in easy situations with this Skandalis. There's another penalty. That's going to help this Western Suburbs side. But they need their experienced players like there's Cherry Maxter there trying to put some pressure on. But they need to control the football. I know they're trying to get themselves back in the game, but you've got to control the football.
Georgialis away to Tate Mosley. He'll be tackled on the Manly 30 in the centre of the park here at Brookvale Oval. Leo Dinova hasn't had too bad a season after a very shaky start to his career at Western Suburbs after leaving Newcastle. Obviously last year he spent most of his first season at this club not playing in the top grade. More poor handling for Western Suburbs. Here's Dinova. Beautiful flick pass back to Travis Baker. Ball away again to Leo Dinova. And he was tackled by Daniel Gartner. So a little bit of pressure now being mounted. Siriako Mesha goes for a sprint. He might get there. The Western Suburbs number 9. Judd Watt says no try, and rightly so.
Better set of 6 by Western Suburbs though. There's Mesha there, trying to get that ball down. And the ball goes astray, but a better set of 6. Quicker play of the ball by Western Suburbs. Saw some good stuff there from Leo Dinova. At least applying a little bit of pressure on this Manly side as we see Neil Tierney tackled.
Jeff Tuvey comes to the sideline for a break. There's a Hopawate who's been very powerful in this game and got a beautiful pass away to Menzies. It's just all Manly. Look at Hopawate. Give me the football more, he's saying. Still got it away. Lyons couldn't get his hand on that pass from Jim Sedaris. And this time Graham Mackay now on the field. So both coaches using the interchange bench overtime even at this stage of the game. Here's Menzies stepping inside. They won't stop the big fella. Here comes try number 5 for the afternoon.
Basic fundamental, one-on-one misses. And Western Suburbs in plenty of trouble now.
Oh, the Manly fans enjoying this. Menzies gets his second try.
Good pick up there by Mackay. The offload is brought down there. But the defence, as you can see, the Western Suburbs defence. Sedaris out of dummy half. Nice flat pass. Little jig there from Menzies on the inside. And there's no one home on the inside. The alarm bells are well and truly ringing now. Menzies, though, great to see him return to some good form. One thing he can do is run. And gets over the line now. Danger signs to Western Suburbs, I must say.
I'm interested to see the stat too with Menzies in terms of career tries. He's getting close to that 100 barrier, to which I alluded earlier in the game. There's only 3 forwards done it.
Yeah, Tabby, that makes 99. 2 tries today.
I'm just trying to think who the other 2 forwards are, Warren, that have achieved that 100-try milestone. Bob McCarthy is 1. And I'll try and recall the other as soon as I can.
Bobby McCarthy and Steve Menzies could both do 100 metres in pretty quick time, couldn't they?
Absolutely.
It's a great effort for a forward to score.
Incredible
tries. And I'll tell you what, I'd like to get a percentage on how many he scored off Lyons.
Exactly. So now Adam Brown. Another shot at goal. He's getting plenty of kicking practice this afternoon. He's 10 metres in from the western touchline, 19 metres out. He's been successful with 3 goals this afternoon. They struck that okay, but it's hooking away. No goal. 26 points to 0.
All the Manly players are full of running. They all want to get their hands on the football. They know there's tries to be scored. And Jimmy Sedaris darts away, pulls in a bit of defence. And Menzies with room to move. That step off the left foot beats Steve Georgalis, who is a good tackler, but Menzies just too skillful and too fast. As Mario said, there was no cover on the inside to check his progress.
Daniel Gartner comes to the bench for a rest. Lyons away to Turney, who takes a hit up for the Sea Eagles. 21 out from their own line. Western Suburbs defence is very difficult to describe in any complimentary fashion. It has been disgraceful so far in this game.
Very important period for Western Suburbs. Now, I know they're down by a fair way, but they can really stop the rot from here if they can just control the football, because the score could be anything if they keep going this way. They really need to work together.
Well, that's all they can do, just try and stop the rot. 18-4 missed tackles. Western Suburbs making the significantly more errors in that section.
Oh, great kick by Lyons. Unfortunately, it'll go dead.
But West have got to play for pride now in the 105th clash between these clubs. Really, it just started from the moment the game got underway, didn't it? Error after error. Manly very quick to convert those opportunities into points, and it's been all one-way traffic.
And you can imagine how their confidence is, Western Suburbs. It'll be an all-time low, so it's important for senior players to get together and do simple things like that. Although the offload was a bit testy, but they
that was a great hit by Kosef.
Surely Harvey Howard would have every right to expect someone to follow him, because he does unload every second time he takes it forward. There was no one following him.
Well, there you go. Western Suburbs have not won a Brookvale since '91. As we see Western Suburbs get a penalty now. Hands in the play the ball there.
Interesting point that Warren Boland makes about Harvey Howard. Leading into this round 19 clash, he's the 4th top man in the NRL.
And he's a
for
very
offloads
good...
with 48 offloads. They're all quality offloads.
He's a very good front rower, Harvey Howard. He takes it up with gusto. He does unload. Wests have got a couple of quality players there, in the likes of Cherry Mesher, Kevin McGuinness. But those sort of guys have got to have plenty of support from everybody else out there.
Here's Howard. Harvey, the big Englishman. He'll roll his sleeves up all right. Here's John Skandalis, his front row partner, driven into the turf here at Brookvale. Graham Mackay and Neil Turney, sporting the Kojak look. Now West giving the ball some air for one of the few times in this game, as Ken McGuinness is tackled 9 metres in from the Western touchline. Can they build any realistic pressure, Western Suburbs, as we see this time Tate Mosley going for a run? Met by Kosef, who's getting through a ton of tackling. The Manly number 13. Now Baker has cut them wide open. He'll get there, the Western Suburbs centre three-quarter. And he's been threatening to do that on a couple of occasions today. And look at him. The emotion there, he's trying to rev the side up. Good try, good job.
Well, it's incredible how if you put a bit of pressure on a defence, things can open up for you. And they opened up there, just straight through a gap there. Travis Baker shows plenty of pace as well. And that's better stuff from Western Suburbs. But it was the tackles earlier that controlled the football. Western Suburbs put a bit of pressure on. Mackay misread that. That tackle had to be made. Cunningham couldn't come up on the inside. And a bit of a confidence boost for Western Suburbs now. Lovely try by Travis Baker, who's, I must say, has looked threatening in this game so far.
And Mario, another classic example of the importance of holding the ball out in front of you. The defence were quite happy to hold off. They were in two minds. He threw the dummy as well. And a huge gap opened up for him.
And the critical thing is, rugby league is such a simple game. If you can hold the football, things can happen for you. And as we saw by Baker's break there, they just controlled the football for a set of 6, and there was a gap presented itself, and Baker had the ability to get through it.
The try scorer will attempt to convert. 10 metres in from the eastern touchline, about 23 metres out. No breeze here to speak of this afternoon. Excellent conditions for rugby league. He struck that reasonably well. That waved away at the last moment. The scoreboard's got a little respectability, Warren Boland.
Well, Travis Baker's made a couple of handling errors, but he partially makes up here. He's got plenty of speed, good evasion there, and I think Owen Cunningham underestimated the speed of Travis Baker. On the inside, he really should have made that tackle, Owen Cunningham. Good try, though. Good effort by Baker.
Who's one of the few Western Suburbs players running onto the ball at pace. They're looking pretty flat-footed in everything else they're doing. Let's hope that'll get their confidence up and they can make a match out of this now. Dinova makes the ball from the kick-off straight away to John Skandalis. Led by Cunningham. Terry Hill lending some assistance. Just over 8 minutes remaining in this first half. 26-4. Western Suburbs with some room to move now on the flank. McGuinness diligently comes infield.
West just needed one runner going straight there. All the defence was able to slide across and cover it. One runner straight might have held them inside.
Harvey Howard playing the ball quickly. Sedaris was in the way. Jed Watt said play on. Georgialis, good play. Found Hodgson on the inside. Little kick over the top. He turns Brendan Reeves around. Unfortunately for him, he couldn't get the ball back, though.
I think the referee's got a call from the linesman. Forward pass. I think the linesman was pretty well spot on, because as I saw it, I thought the pass went forward. But a better play by Western Suburbs. Here it is here. Georgialis, the inside pass there, just slightly forward. The linesman's right on the spot. The referee gets the call. Good call.
The Lyons again standing at halfback away from Brown to Terry Hill. Hill again having plenty of time to offload. Brown, this is Andrew Frew. Look at the speed of Frew. He burns the turf. He stands them up. Again, he has got blistering pace. Blinding speed off the mark. And Frew has made them look silly on that left-hand side of the Western Suburbs defensive line again.
Here in the background, Terry Hill and I think it was Travis Baker. But the offload by Hill was a beauty. He should have been stopped here, Hill. 2 players committed to the tackle, the offload, and that's when the alarm bell started ringing. Nice offload by Brown. And then Frew, as we said before, got a lot of pace there. And he looks like the other Western Suburbs players are standing still. The smile comes to his face as he advances the ball near the post. But this was the critical offload. 2 players committed, and if you can offload the ball like that, second phase play happens. Brown on to Frew, who's got great footwork, outpaces Dinova, and then it's just a foot race to the line. And as you can see there, he's pretty happy. He won't score an easier try than that, but the footwork was fantastic.
His speed is quite extraordinary. From a standing start, he just left them in his wake. Dinova desperately trying an ankle tap. Frew's having a ball out there. He's seeing plenty of football. He'd be loving this.
Well, that's right. A lot of missed tackles around him, and he's got the speed to be able to capitalise on these missed tackles. But snuffed out a bit of a comeback from Western Suburbs.
Conversion from Brown is not overly difficult. He's 15 metres out and 10 metres to the right of the posts. Flags in the air. And this scoreline starting to become a little embarrassing for Western Suburbs. 32-4 in favour of the Sea Eagles.
Well, it was good work from Terry Hill to keep it alive, and Brown there to be the link. He was following, but there's a very poor missed tackle here. Hodgson and Mesha virtually leaving through for each other, I think, because neither of them made an attempt. He ran straight between the two of them, and of course Hodgson being the fullback, no one was home at the back. So Frew, the easiest of tries for the former Parramatta junior. Certainly enjoying himself with Manly on the wing.
Absolutely. It's Brendan Reeves for the Sea Eagles. What can Tommy Radonica say to his side at half-time to turn this around?
Well, what they've got to do is they can't afford to miss one-on-one tackles, and simple missed tackles at that. This is first-grade football. You can't afford to miss simple tackles like that, because sides like Manly can take advantage of it.
Sidarista played for the Sea Eagles on the day that Cliff Lyon celebrates his 300th first-grade game for this club, the first Sea Eagle in history to ever achieve that. And isn't he still playing some quality football?
Dave, for 300 first-grade games, every opposition coach has gone in with a match plan to shut Cliff Lyons down, and in 300 games they've probably done it twice. Yeah, they just can't stop him.
It's an excellent comment. Again, down that side of the field that we've talked about all afternoon so far, making giant inroads. Oh. There's great defence from Lyons on Hodgson. Cliff Lyons, not really a noted defender. He certainly come up with a bone-crunching hit that time. Now Ken McGuinness for Western Suburbs, away to Kevin McGuinness. And they're about 12 on their own side of halfway, Western Suburbs. Scandalis actually stumbled as he got to the defensive line, comprising Albert Torrens and Damien Driscoll. Harvey Howard now, hard and straight as always. 5 on Manly's side of halfway. Mesha looking for support, finds it with Tate Mosley. On tackle 5. Not a bad set so far from Western Suburbs. Can they complete this with quality? Out to their lone try scorer, Travis Baker, who has looked dangerous. He's in the clear again, finds support. Chris Marland is going to be tackled by Steve Menzies, 2 metres short.
Beautiful tackle by Menzies. A try looked like it was there on a plate for Western Suburbs, but Menzies, full length.
You've got to give this bloke a rap, haven't you? Travis Baker.
Oh, great tackle on the inside by Menzies.
Having an excellent game, the Western Suburbs centre, Baker.
Harvey Howard will be penalised for a high tackle. Let's see if the referee puts it on report. Yeah, a high tackle by Harvey Howard. Not too much in it. I think the referee's done the right thing. Penalty sufficient.
Only a bear hug.
The Manly getting plenty of football.
We saw a stat about midway through the first half where Manly had enjoyed something like 72% of possession. Not a lot has changed in the remaining minutes of this first stanza. Okay, a little bit's changed there.
It's a good percentage though, isn't it? 65% of the football. Not too many teams can win with defending 65%.
Here's Lyons again to Menzies. Hard and straight. Mesha was able to hold his progress. Lyons again having a field day up there this afternoon. Not the best ball he's ever thrown in his life on that occasion. Frew saving the day for Manly. He scored 2 tries in this game. Lyons again.
Would you believe it?
Yeah.
Travis Baker has gone for the intercept, touched the ball. Manly now will get another set of 6. That's exactly what they didn't want, Manly. What the Western Suburbs didn't want.
Back on the 10.
There'll only be one more set left in the half too, so Wests are going to have to defend. Otherwise it's going to be even more embarrassing, and Tommy Radonix will be lashing them even louder.
Trail 32-4 with 60 seconds remaining in this first half. Now from Brown to Lyons, there's runners everywhere. And they're giving Lyons plenty of time too, Western Suburbs I mean. They're not shutting him down. Reeves played it. He's got it back again from Cliffy Lyons. Nineveh desperately trying to get up off the deck so he could stand at mark-up. 17-0 Turney, who's been busy.
You can see Lyons scheming on the left-hand side. What's he got up his sleeve? Oh!
Lyons to Menzies again. You're a genius, Fennick. He had something up his sleeve, and look at Beaver Menzies. He's smiling like a carpet snake in a foul house.
Oh, that's the 100. That's the 100 tries.
Exactly.
Well, you could see Lyons. He was really trying to get a message to Menzies, and that's what the message was. Come off my left shoulder. And there's Menzies there, gallops into a hole. 100 tries for Steve Menzies. 300 first-grade games for Cliff Lyons. How many times has he done this? Doesn't he hit a hole well, Menzies?
He did well to pull it in too, because the pass was a little behind him. But he has got arms 3 metres long, Menzies. Just there, see, did well. So he joins a couple of legendary forwards.
See, the great quality that Cliff Lyons has is he gets people to ball watch. And you'll see George Arliss and a couple of Western Suburbs defenders watch the ball. And when they're watching the ball, Lyons slots the ball into a hole. And Menzies was able to grab that ball and run through and score his 100th first-grade try.
Great effort. So isn't he getting some kicking practice? The Manly halfback. $18 metres out and 12 in from the Western touchline. Scoreline, an ever-increasing one for Manly. 7 tries already in this game. Brown, successful, kicking pretty well today. 38-4. Menzies gets his 100th. Down to you, Warren.
It's turning into a Lyons-Menzies tribute match, isn't it? Look at this. The little dummy on the inside, and Steve Georgalis fell for it on the outside. He should have kept his eye on Steve Menzies, but he just started to fade in. And Cliff Lyons, with a blink, says, there's another one. I've notched up one more. Great half of football by Manly.
Muxine Jadwat is the referee replacing Paul McBlain as the man controlling this match. And for the second 40-minute section, Manly defending the northern end of Brookvale Oval, where you wouldn't read about it. Lyons to Menzies, but this time the latter puts it on the deck.
Well, he didn't expect the pass, Menzies. He thought Lyons was going to run the ball.
They are human.
Lyons catches the ball on the full, runs it down the short side, and Menzies just didn't expect the football. Yeah, took his eyes off the ball. So a nice chance for Western Suburbs to start this second half on a positive note.
Hodgson, the fullback, chiming in nicely. Has got some pace if he can get himself in the clear from Dinova. Away they keep it alive through Matthew Fuller. He'll be tackled 10 out from the Manly line. The Western Suburbs lift themselves in the second 40 and get some credibility into the scoreline. Harvey Howard trying very hard, driving himself upfield. They're only a couple of metres out now. And Luke Goodwin stumbling, gets up and is forced to do it on his own, met by Menzies and Lyons. That's another thing about the match so far. Lyons has got through a fair bit of defence as well. Now Leo Dinova looking to his left and found Scott Coxon there. Now it's back to Leo Dinova. He comes back across to the other side of the field. In support is Tate Mosley. Can he get around his man? No, he can't, but still got the pass away to McGuinness, who found brother McGuinness on his outside. Now it comes back across to Goodwin. They've got plenty of troops in the centre of the ruck, the Western Suburbs side, and they're throwing it around. Now this is McGuinness again, who kicks for little McGuinness, and they're going to come up with a miraculous try, are they?
Did he get the ball down?
Waiting for Muxine Jadwat. That's a try, all right.
Yeah, they looked like they were going nowhere. A lot of passing, but no forward movement. But then McGuinness kicked the ball into the in goal. Deft kick too it was.
And little Kevin McGuinness, the try scorer.
The pass was just going all lateral stuff, no forward movement, and Manly coping with everything Western Suburbs were throwing at them. Dinova A nice wide pass. There looked to be a bit of room out there.
Tate Mosley, he too got it away to Kevin McGuinness. Flick pass to Ken McGuinness.
It was like a game of touch.
Yeah, there was plenty of people handling in that. Might even be a world record for the amount of people involved in the try.
And that was a critical kick there. It was a good kick as well by Kenny McGuinness, off to his brother Kevin. And one thing, Kevin's got plenty of speed. The offload there was a beauty. And a good start in the second half for Western Suburbs. A nice kick. They're just throwing the ball all over the place, Western Suburbs. One thing I think they should do in the second half, though, is try and advance the football and control it.
Travis Baker is going to take a conversion as you look at another replay of Kevin McGuinness. And the touchdown is Baker from a long way out. And not successful. 38 points to 8.
Great ball movement by West, moving the ball around, and it ends with Ken McGuinness slotting it through for his brother Kevin. And good work by Kevin McGuinness to get the ball down safely. But I've got Des Hasler with me, of course played for both clubs, but most famously with Manly. Desi, it's a try-fest today. Not too many tackles being made, particularly by West.
The buzz going around the ground before the game was that, traditionally this could have been the last encounter between a West and a Manly side here at Brookvale. So we thought we might have seen some of the games of the 70s and 80s with the fiery contest, but they've certainly been putting on a try first anyway.
Now, how about a tribute for Cliffy Lyons and Steve Menzies? Great combination.
Yeah, it was fitting too that Cliffy put Booger over for his 100th try. So, the fans have come to see Cliffy play his 300th game, and they certainly haven't been let down from that aspect. I think he's put on about 4 tries so far in the first half, and it'd be great to see Cliffy get across the line himself in the second half.
Right, Des, thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Warren.
Des Hasler, one of the truly great players in terms of his athleticism. Absolute fitness fanatic. And I believe at the moment is writing a book on nutrition, Mark.
Yeah, he's always been, that was one of his great qualities, Des. Very, very fit, very strong, and very, very quick for his size. And played a lot of good football for Manly, and certainly he could appreciate Cliff Lyon's contribution to Manly over the last few years.
38 points to 8 in favour of the home side. 9 tries scored in this game already, 7 to Manly. Now 2 of your way to Graham Mackay, playing in jumper number 21. Tuvey.
David, just a bit of news from the two coaches. Peter Sharp wanted the Manly players to protect the ball coming out from their own line and to watch Travis Baker, who did cause them some problems in the first half. And on the other hand, Tommy Raudonikis, well, you can imagine he was disgusted. He said, second half, we start again and stop watching them putting on their moves.
Kosef to play it for Manly. 5 on Western Suburbs side of halfway. And they get a penalty to apply the blowtorch even further to Western Suburbs.
Yeah, this will give Manly a great attacking opportunity now. 40 metres out from the Western Suburbs line.
For holding down against Scott Hodgson. So Manly, an opportunity to build towards the Western Suburbs line and perhaps score try number 8 for the afternoon, as Damien Driscoll takes a strong run. It took 3 Western Suburbs players to get him down. Kosef, this time to Owen Cunningham. He's filled, 25 out from the west line. They come the short side and now change the point of the attack back to Cliff Lyons. Drifts across field prior to finding Torrens. Lyons goes to dummy half. Kosef at first receiver. We've seen a lot of that today. Brown away to Graham Mackay. Big and strong. He drives and pushes his way through. Just 5 metres out. Another chance. Andrew Frew on the short side. We've got a couple of tries. And that's tackle 5, says Muxin Jadwat.
They're going to run it.
Long pass to Lyons. Little kick over the top. The Manly chase is impeccable. There are 3 of them there. And that will be a try to John Hapawate.
Who wants to score? There was 3 or 4 of them there, although the referee's going to go to the referee's board. But Lyons summed it up again.
I don't think there's any doubt about that try at all.
The numbers were there, and Lyons took the good option. Does Menzies get it down, or is it Hapawate? It goes to Hapawate.
It's Hapawate.
Yes, has he controlled the football? I don't know. I'd like to have another look at that, though.
That's a try for all money.
Let's have a look at little sticky at that. There's 3 Manly players there. Who's going to pick it up?
Video referee Graham West. as we wait for the green light. That scoreline really starting to blow out now. And Manly getting their 8th try after just a couple of minutes of play in the second half.
Yeah, Lyons sums up the situation really well there. He looks to his left and the kick's on. And there was 3 or 4 Manly players chasing that. They could have all scored, bounced into Hopoate's hands, and he showed good skill there to control that football. Manly hit the magical 40 mark. I don't know if it's magical from Western Suburbs' point of view though. Lyons, how long has he been doing this for? He just loves his league, and the refreshing thing about a bloke like Cliff Lyons, he's unaffected. He's a good knockabout bloke too, Cliffy.
You're right.
Very approachable. The kids love him too.
The Hopoate's had a big game this afternoon, running with vigour, making up for lost time. Was out of the game for a long period this year. I won't dwell on the incident, but he's certainly reaffirming his worth to this club the way he's playing today. Now their halfback Adam Brown will attempt a difficult conversion, 18 metres out and about 7 metres in from the eastern touchline. About 7.5 minutes of play gone in the second half. Western Suburbs with their heads down. You've got a good angle, a good view of the angle he was working with, unsuccessful. And Warren Boland, how many more tries can we expect? 42-8.
Well, West made the attempt to move up quickly in defence. They swept up, but Cliff Lyons is too smart for them. He realises that they are all coming forward and that Manly are on the fly. He goes to the line, puts the kick through. West have to turn, and it's 3 Sea Eagles against fresh air for West, and Hopoate forces it safely for the try. And can you believe it? Manly have just set out the message. Complete the sets and step it up a gear. They're hungry, but it's wise advice from Peter Sharp, because he knows if they do play out 6 tackles each time, they are just going to nail West over and over again.
Driscoll for Manly. 42-8. Graham Mackay. Good run, some driving defence. Halts his progress though from Tuvey away to Nick Kosef. Dummied before floating a long pass to Cliff Lyons. Now to Menzies, out to Hopoate, who did well at the turn and pulled the control of the ball in. As the Manly hit-ups, Reeves has had a lot of work to do from the back, retrieving kicks. Tuvey and Brown with the clearing kick.
Great set by Manly then. They advanced the football, went wide, then pushed it forward again. Good control play. Coach Peter Sharp, are you happy with that?
Terry Hill claiming Hodgson easily. The West hit-ups. Hodgson has had plenty to do as we see another mistake, this time from Ken McGuinness. And the Western Suburbs day is becoming gloomier by the minute.
And that's the difference between the two sides. I commented on Manly's impressive set. Rather than advance the football through good hook forward take-ups, they're trying to move the ball wide. Rugby league's about advancing the ball before you go wide. You can't cut corners, Western Suburbs. You're going to pay the price again as Lyons wins the scrum.
Brown dummies inside to Albert Torrance, met by Kevin McGuinness. Centre of the field, 15 metres out. Here come the Sea Eagles again. Lyons, he's got plenty of time to Menzies. Oh, this time Menzies drops the ball. They were just trying a little hard, perhaps. He was desperately trying to get it out to the man on the flank, John Hopoate.
Well, I think it was McGuinness actually knocked the ball out of Menzies' hands. He did. He touched the ball. Menzies couldn't control it. And he's had a great game, Menzies. And the ball went loose there. And Western Suburbs breathed a huge sigh of relief. 8-5 the penalty errors. Western Suburbs leading.
A lot of rumours in the game that Menzies was gearing up to leave the Sea Eagles. But he squashed those rumours this week, reaffirming the fact he'd be here.
We'll be praying that Cliffy Lyons goes around again next season, because, as you mentioned earlier, times were tough for Steve Menzies early in the year before Cliff Lyons came out of retirement.
Harvey Howard plays it now for Western Suburbs. He hasn't taken a backward step, the big Englishman this afternoon. Tate Mosley now to play it.
It's amazing how one player can have an effect. We mentioned the Menzies-Lyons combination, but it's true. When Lyons is on the field, Menzies just grows another leg, doesn't he?
Reeves away from the first tackle.
Offline.
Barry Davis now through. Andrew Frew, who's had an excellent game, from Terry Hill away to Brown. Long pass again to Cliff Lyons, who again finds himself with plenty of time. Menzies back to Hopawate, and he's tackled by John Skandalis, who did well to match it in pace with Hopawate, albeit for a short sprint. Kosef, Graham Mackay short pass which he couldn't handle.
Well,
Manly get a penalty.
they're all offside. Referee's right on the spot. You'll find they take the tap.
Nothing going right for Western Suburbs.
Yes, they do. Here comes Lyons.
Lyons, will he kick? Will he pass? He passes to Steve Menzies for the 4th time today. Lyons to Menzies, try time.
It's getting monotonous now. Lyons to Menzies. How many times are we going to see it?
I could watch it all day. It's not monotonous. They're both wonderful players.
It was always on. Lyons to Menzies on the inside. There it is there. They're all offside, Western Suburbs. The mistake there by Mackay. Referee's got no option but to penalise. And then it was always going to go to the left-hand side. It was always going to be Lyons inside the Menzies. There's Lyons here, inside. And the defence on the inside. Hopawate.
The original bus leading up to the try before they got the penalty, when Skandalis came from behind to claim him. And now we see the try coming.
And it's almost like so obvious. But Western Suburbs, they just don't pick it up. Inside, Menzies charges through the hole. And that's try 101. That's a big effort. And he's got a smile on his face, Tappy. And why wouldn't you have?
Loving every minute of this. Now Brown will attempt this conversion, 12 metres in from the eastern touchline and 15 metres out. Heading towards a big and embarrassing scoreline from Western Suburbs' point of view.
And the scary thing is we've got 27 minutes to go.
I've got to say I feel a bit sorry for Tommy Rodonigas. He doesn't deserve this. Now Brown has struck that sweetly. Flags in the air. Scoreline 48 points to 8. Thank you very much, Warren Bowles.
It's becoming painful to watch this as a former Magpie, but if you're up against Cliff Lyon, you've got to have men coming on the inside, because he will turn the ball back inside to Menzies. That's the chief alley that he uses. The man from the inside's got to get there. And on that occasion, West, even though they had players coming across, just couldn't go with Menzies. They weren't there when they had to be, and there's the conversion to add the extras. Insult to injury.
9 tries in total for Manly today, of which Menzies has scored 4. Warren, you might just repeat what you said earlier today in relation to the 2 players that Menzies has now joined in terms of forwards scoring more than 100 tries.
I didn't say it, Taffy. I was following on from you. You said Bob McCarthy was one.
Yes,
and a great free-running second row he was. Have you got the other one up?
No, I wish I could think of it. I just can't remember. I won't mention it again. Manly again playing touch out there.
Well, that looked dangerous. There is a pass off the ground. Referee's right on the spot there. But Manly, they're full of confidence now. And it's all happening off Lyons. There's the offload there. And Lyons, they just want to run off Cliff Lyons. And the ball goes astray. That's Torrens there. And that's Dean just being thrown off the ground. And there's Coach Peter Sharp there. He's quite serious, but I reckon on the inside he'd be laughing.
Western Suburbs now with some rare field position inside Manly territory. Georgialis away. See the ball ricochets out as Matt Fuller was tackled. Now it's Goodwin for the West side. Those missed tackles, 26-8. Western Suburbs making plenty of mistakes in that regard. Here's Dinova looking for Goodwin and found him. Skandalis, quick service to his support on the outside, being Matt Spence. And now Manly come up with the football. Goodness me.
Well, Jimmy Sedaris has dropped the ball in the first tackle. What you'll find, West will get the football there.
Sorry, I didn't say it.
Manly, though, it's Cliff Lyons' party today.
I'm playing the first.
They're making the most of it. Lyons has been involved in everything. There's Spence there, loses the ball. Lyons gets the football. And Sedaris, wouldn't you believe it, takes his eyes off the ball. And there, the ball just pops out of his hands. The Magpies have got the football.
Now Georgialis. Thought he was almost through. Menzies broke from the scrum quickly. Now through Dinova, they come to the open side. Kevin McGuinness got plenty of pace. Hasn't seen much room to move this afternoon. Has received no quality football to speak of. Travis Baker away to Harvey Howard, picking the legs up, trying to get the pace going. Mesh up. Dummy to Scandalis. And Western Suburbs about 9 metres out from Manly's line. 48-8 they trail. Can they get a try on the board? Matt Spence getting very close. All thought about reaching out. Would have certainly been a penalty. He was stopped, and here's Travis Baker. He gets his second try of the afternoon and thoroughly deserves it. He's been Western Suburbs' best player by a long way.
And how soft was that? Manly have obviously taken a nap there, but Travis Baker, he's probably been, well, when I say probably, definitely Western Suburbs' most dangerous player. Near the line there, gallops through a hole. Mesha does, it's a nice little run by Mesha. Mesha's always doing his best to have a go. And then Spence looked like he was going to push his way over. Sedaris holds on for grim life. And then just a simple offload. And it was almost too soft to believe. Baker just goes through and he can't believe it. Straight in under the post.
Anthony Colella just threw a left arm out. He was really the only Manly defender close enough to do anything. And he didn't lay so much as a fingernail on him. And speaking of Baker, he's going to attempt the conversion from 11 metres out, a couple of metres to the left of the uprights. Still 22 minutes remaining in this game. Flags in the air. 48 points to 14 at the 58th minute mark.
Turning into a strange game of football. Some interesting handling going on, but this is too simple to believe. We've seen some of the best and some of the worst football in this, well, what is it now? 60-odd minutes so far.
Look at Cliff Lyons. Great milestone, 300 first grade games for Manly.
And the great thing about Cliff Lyons, David, is he looks like he's really enjoying his football. I know that he just lives for rugby league and he's just having fun. What a great talent. He's been having fun for a long time.
Mario, I remember North Sydney had a day a couple of years back where they had all the former North Sydney players came along, and of course Cliffy also played for the Bears, and he turned up that day to play touch football at North Sydney Oval. I'm pretty sure it was the day before he had to play for Manly. He just loves rugby league, and it was a great moment then. It's a great moment for him today as well.
Harvey Howard and Nick Kosef having something of a confrontation. Matthew Fuller for the Western Suburbs side, tackled on his own 30. 48-14 the scoreline. Still 19 remaining in this game. Away comes Matthew Spence. A head massage there for the tackler, Graham Mackay. Now from mesh up to Leo Dinova, who half volleys and miraculously pulled that in. This is John Scandalis playing in jumper number 10. 7 on their own side of halfway. Mesh up. Bit of a roll on now by virtue of some fast play to balls. Baker to Hodgson. They've got some support. Here's little McGuinness. They won't catch him. He's fleet of foot and he'll put the ball down under the black dot. That was nice play from Western Suburbs.
What a wonderful passage of play there by Western Suburbs. That's what they're capable of if they can control the football. There was a number of players involved. Good ball movement, and McGuinness is able to cut through. Nice little play down the short side. Back on the inside, and that's Baker. Good offload on the Hodgson. And then McGuinness gets the football and shows great pace too. He strides in underneath the goalposts for one of the few good moments in this game for Western Suburbs. It's support there. Good support on the inside by Baker. The one-handed offload. Hodgson on the inside of McGuinness. And then it's a run to the line. And McGuinness has got plenty of pace to get himself home. A bit of a smile on the face of the Western Suburbs players. With some 20 minutes to go, no doubt they'll be hoping for a bit more of that.
His second try of the afternoon. So McGuinness and Baker scoring all the points for Western Suburbs. Baker scored 2 tries and 2 goals so far, and he's attempting another 2-pointer from right in front. No problem with that. 48-16 here at Brookvale Oval. Manly over Western Suburbs. Sorry, 48-20, I beg your pardon.
West gets some respectability, and this is a very good piece of football as they move it through the hands, changing the angle there. Dinova inside to Baker, puts a bit of Cliffy Lyons' inside ball back on Manly, and good support play by Hodgson there, coming in from fullback, and finally Kevin McGuinness sprints away. But they changed the angle, they had plenty of support and showed good speed.
Bit of quality play from Western Suburbs, Mario.
Yeah, no doubt Coach Tommy Ronicus might get some sort of satisfaction from that. They're capable of some very good things, this Western Suburbs side, but central to anything in rugby league is you really need to limit your mistakes, and Western Suburbs have made so many mistakes to be competitive in this game. It's just been too tough.
You know, the puzzling thing about Western Suburbs this year has been just incredible inconsistency.
Oh,
gee whiz.
Hold the phone.
Hodgson driving in. Let's have a listen. That looked very high.
We might see Matt Fuller saying he hit me on the shoulder. That's great sportsmanship by Fuller. And the Manly crowd appreciate that. They're giving applause to Matt Fuller. That's great sportsmanship. There should be more of it.
You're looking at that.
Like it got him on the chin.
Oh, I'll tell you what, Warren.
No, it was shoulder on shoulder.
Yeah,
it's just the lazy left arm that was loitering around his melon, that's all.
It'd be a strange game of rugby league. It'd be a different game of rugby league if blokes weren't cheating left, right and centre, trying to get away with things from the referee, trying to get blokes in the sin bin, trying to get penalties. It'd be a very different game. I know it's a very competitive game, but it's great sportsmanship when you see it once in a while.
Finish what I was saying before about West's inconsistency. They can play all right one week and then they get hammered the next. They just can't string it together for a couple of weeks in succession. I mean, last week they only went down by 8 points from memory against Sydney City. And that's been the pattern of their season. Get a flogging, then play well. Get a flogging, then play well.
They go much better at home too. And when you look at it, only 3 wins for the season, so there's been more bad ones than good ones.
There's another bad one there. That's another mistake by Western Suburbs. Inconsistency, I think we're trying to say about Western Suburbs. On their day, they can be very, very good, but on their day, they can be bad. And today's one of those days.
Graham Mackay tackled 32 out from his own line. The Seagulls 48 lead Western Suburbs 20. Plenty of instructions being yelled out from the Manly bench about finishing the set. I can even hear them through my headphones. So Western Suburbs come up with it, minus a Manly error, or after a Manly error. Harvey Howard, an offload. Western Suburbs, a little spring in the step now of the Magpies, starting to build in confidence. Still a long way behind on the scoreboard. Not to say they can't put a few tries on. Harvey Howard again. Jeff Tuvey was there to meet him. Great tackle by Tuvey. The ball popped out the back, picked up by Baker. He found Dinova. And Leo Dinova, who was felled by Tuvey, will get up and play it. 21 out.
Referee stopped play. I think it's Damien Driscoll's received a head knock. Let's hope it's not too serious. Referee's done the right thing and stopped play just to make sure the player is okay.
Former Charger. One of a few to link up with the Seagulls, along with Graham Mackay and Andrew King.
Don't forget to stay around at Brookvale Oval for a special presentation.
On his feet, and certainly appears to be in Disneyland.
A little bit wobbly.
26 years of age. Hails from Woy Woy. He was a Woy Woy junior on the Central Coast, Damien Driscoll.
He's accidentally taken a knee, and I think he's collected it flush on the chin. There it is there. Oh, he's taken the hip, Harvey Howard's hip, on the back of the head, and you'll find that'll be concussion. Let's hope there's nothing too serious about that.
Rubbery-legged, which is entirely understandable. He's receiving a nice ovation from the fans on the western side of Brookvale Oval. Leo Dinova will get play underway shortly with 16 3/4 minutes remaining in this game. West to mount an attack from 22 metres out. Still trail by 28. Bishop. Across to Chris Marland in jumper number 17. Jim Sedaris driving in with some big defence, assisted by Anthony Colilla.
Well, the last thing Manly want to do is to spoil their very, very good positive game today by allowing the Western Suburbs side to score a number of consolation tries.
Kevin McGuinness, after receiving an ordinary pass, kicks out on the full. That was disappointing for Western Suburbs. They had some good field position. They've been on something of a roll the last 10 minutes too, the Black and Whites.
Yeah, there's McGuinness there. Ball goes straight into over the touchline. And the game degenerating somewhat. Manly well and truly in front in this game, and I think the result is beyond doubt. But a lot of mistakes creeping in now from both sides.
Brendan Reeves plays it for the Seagulls. Here's Jimmy Sedaris. who is off contract at the end of this season. Andrew Frew bagged a couple of tries in the first half. He's an impressive player, Andrew Frew, Warren.
Yeah, got lots of speed and he has good positional play, but another mistake by Manly. Owen Cunningham loses it as he was trying to bustle his way through the line and link up with support. There was support there. But, Manly just guilty now of starting to try too hard to score the try rather than waiting for it to come. And that's why those messages keep going out. Play out the 6, complete the sets. They are allowing West back into it, and West are taking advantage of it.
A little bit of complacency creeping in. Everything they tried in the first half worked for them. I guess it's hard to not want to keep doing that. Dinova, a pass that went straight over the top of Baker's head, picking it up for West Barry Davis. Mesher, out of dummy half, gained 7 or 8 metres before he was claimed by Owen Cunningham. In the centre of the field, 12 metres on Manly's side of halfway. A low ball, they did well to pick that up. Steve Georgialis into Chris Marland. Mesher to Howard. Gee, hit some great balls away, Harvey Howard.
And Cherry Mesher, that man there who's been tackled, he's put in a pretty wholehearted effort as well.
Again, Western Suburbs keep it alive. They've certainly got a little more confidence now. Sadly, it hasn't paid dividends on this occasion as Manly come up with it yet again.
Well, they're trying to push the pass. Western Suburbs doing their best to maybe get a try happening, but the pressure, it's just pressure for Manly, and they're capitalising. They're able to pounce on the loose ball. Western Suburbs have got no option but to push the pass, and that's a penalty. Harvey Howard way offside. In fact, that could have been possibly a sin binning offence, although the referees indicated the team was offside. So that's even worse, because now we see Manly with a penalty on about the halfway line, as we see Adam Brown kick the ball out on about the 30-metre line.
He didn't stand square on at any time, did he? So Jeff Tuvey will restart play 31 out from West Lyon. This is Graham Mackay winding up the big legs. And he advances the football 7 or 8 metres. And Tuvey away to Brown. Lyons wants it, but they decide to go with Owen Cunningham. Running hard and straight. Tuvey. Brown will switch the point of the attack. Graham Mackay on the western side of the field to Terry Hill now. He'll be halted about 5 metres out. Big and strong. We've seen Terry Hill pull off some quality offloads in this game today through sheer strength. Now Lyons, will he go to the kick? No, it's the short pass. Just never know what he's going to do you? Menzies being wrestled to ground.
Finally, they've stopped an offload.
Lyons. Long pass. Anthony Colella was there waiting for it. Lyons again. And a pass that hits the deck. Torrens kicks through. Oh boy, Hopewate fancied his chances of getting a hand on it. Hodgson saves the day at the back for Western Suburbs.
Yeah, the referee plays the advantage, so Western Suburbs will relievingly come up with the football. Hopewate doesn't like it. He's saying that the Western Suburbs guys knocked that football on. Torrens tries to dribble the ball in the in-goal area. He was tripped over there by the look of it, off Hopowate's feet, so there was no knock on, so you can understand why he's slightly upset.
A problem in back play. Brett Hodgson has a head wound.
Sydney City 22, North Sydney 14.
We've seen Jadwat calling a halt to play.
Sydney South 14, Balmain 12.
Just on the quiz regarding who else among forwards has scored 100 tries, Dave. Frank Burge, 1928-29, apparently is one, but there's a question mark over whether Bob McCarthy did score 100 tries. I've been asking around down here on the sideline. No one's too sure exactly.
I'm almost certain he did, but if I'm wrong, I'm quite happy to accept that. So thanks for your good work there, Warren. I'm under the impression there were 2 prior to Menzies. Steve Georgialis to play it for Western Suburbs. They've been totally outclassed in this match so far. Some robust defence from Graham Mackay, who has been very enthusiastic, hasn't he, Mario, since he was thrown into the action by Coach Sharp.
Well, he's another one who, on his day, can do anything. His problem is, Graham Mackay, is inconsistency with his form. On his day, he's got the ability, he's certainly a big man, but certainly he's done some very good things today.
Luke Goodwin controlled by Cliff Lyons. Dinova. And the Cleary kick from Western Suburbs is a high torpedo punt. Brendan Reeves had some problems with that. The Western Suburbs chase isn't too bad either. A couple of players there, led by Barry Davis. So got some hard work to do for probably, would you say, the first time in the match, Mario? Working it up from their own line.
Well, that's the problem. There's Hopewade with a bullocking run. Big, powerful run by Hopewade. But Manly have not felt too much pressure in this game as a result of a lot of drop ball by Western Suburbs. Coach Peter Sharp will be fairly happy with their effort today. Here's Hopewade again, the second run. And what a bullocking run it is. He's powerful, Hopewade.
Having a wonderful game, Hopewade. The Seagulls have scored 9 tries already in this game, if you may have just joined our coverage, to lead 48-20. Luke Goodwin in jumper number 7 for Western Suburbs, slipping. Unluckily for him, Graham Mackay there to pounce. A little bit of nonsense in the play the ball area. Siriako Mesha driven back by Jim Sedaris. And 14 is Dale Bonner for Western Suburbs. Fairly versatile player, Bonner. Now John Scandalis. 8 metres on his own side of halfway. Western Suburbs' best player, Travis Baker.
Oh, doesn't he do well?
What about Cunningham's skills?
Cunningham got the 10 on his back for a front rower, but he shows great skill there, reads the play, and snuffs out a pretty dangerous situation there. Good play by Cunningham, as we see Frew. What about the footwork on Frew? They can't stop him.
Took 3 of them to stop him in the end. Chris Marland, the major instigator defensively.
And bad news for Western Suburbs, Harvey Howard's grimacing with a leg injury.
Last thing in the world they need. Nick Kosef. Pass away to Andrew Frew again. Heavily involved this afternoon. Mackay goes to dummy half. Now Cliff Lyons showing the ball out in front. Dummying. Fake to kick. Dummy to gain. Dropped the ball in the ruck then, and the referee saw it. Seen Judd Watt. And Harvey Howard, meantime in back play, is going to be coming off, I feel. 2 trainers on assisting him. As you look at Lyons making a small mistake.
That's bad luck for Howard. You can see there he's done a lot of work. 14 tackles, 14 hit-ups. He's been wholehearted in the front row for Western Suburbs. It's a shame some of his teammates couldn't have at least had the effort that Harvey Howard's had. Judging by that, he might be a cork try. Let's hope it's not too serious.
It's been an area that's plagued West this season because Darren Fritz has been out for a long time with a shoulder problem. Brenton Pomery, another front row prospect for them, out virtually now for 2 years for them with shoulder injuries. Haven't had the front rowers to support Harvey Howard.
That's right after the game, so stick around.
And they signed Pomery from North Sydney. It appeared to be the perfect solution to providing the support for Harvey Howard, but he's had nothing but dramas with injuries.
Well, they also have Adrian Rainey out because he came foul of the drug testers.
Travis Baker again. What a wonderful game he's having. The centre 3/4 for Western Suburbs. Every time he touches the ball, he's making a break. Now Leo Dinova, as the sun comes streaming through the clouds here at Brookvale. Mesh up, Leo Dinova. Jogging to the line before offloading to Ken McGuinness. Now to Kevin McGuinness in number 3. Back to Ken McGuinness, who tries to dart up the sideline. The kick was easily contained by Brendan Reeves, who then is claimed by Kevin McGuinness. Manly now in the danger zone. Jeff Tuvey. Good run by the little number 9. Tuvey's away over the 40, over the 50. Slips and falls. Hasn't quite got the pace of 5 years ago. They wouldn't have stopped him then.
Speaking of Manly greats, what about Tuvey?
Never been a tougher player, that I've seen.
Cunningham, beautiful offload. Referees pulled that forward pass.
There's been a lot of little men in the game, Mario, demonstrating enormous toughness. Tuvey right up with the best of them.
And defensively,
for his size, he's just incredible.
Speaking of little men, there's Kallela there. The inside offload. Lyons showing the ball in front. And then the inside pass. And it catches the defence And that's been picked up as a forward pass. But this is Tuvey out of dummy half. Got plenty of speed too. And how long has he been doing this for Manly? He's wholehearted. He's all guts, Tuvey. And I tell you what, he's been one of their best players, Tuvey. Consistency is the name of the game for Tuvey.
Yeah, he'd be probably just as quick out of an area like that if he was playing halfback, but the number of tackles he makes in a game must wear him down. Look at him. There he is underneath again.
Western Suburbs with something of a chance to get another try on the board. They've scored 4 this afternoon. Marland out to Baker. This time to McGuinness. He might get there. Inside pass to Kevin. Can he get try number 3 this afternoon? He certainly can. Kevin McGuinness accepting the pass from his brother. Comes up with his 3rd try of the day.
Well, West can only lament what could have been this afternoon for them. If they would have only put some pressure on Manly. Certainly they have got players like McGuinness. They move the ball to the right. Offloads. Baker too, hasn't he had a game? McGuinness, beautiful offload into his brother Kevin. Ken on to Kevin. Lovely try. Nice width there. This Baker too, he's got a bit of potential. And then nice inside pass on to Kevin McGuinness, and does well to just get that ball down. The Manly defence, I think, might have shut up shop somewhat.
5.5 minutes remaining in the game. Is the final pass being thrown by Ken McGuinness to Kevin. And Travis Baker, who's been a standout for Western Suburbs, will now attempt this conversion. 7 metres in from the eastern touchline. He's brought it back to place it on the mound about 29 metres out, I'd suggest. 67% career success ratio, and for 1999 likewise. Was kicked okay today.
He moves very well on his feet, doesn't he? Cut through a couple of times.
He's a determined runner. He's lifted that high in the sky. It's got plenty of height right between the posts. And Baker brings the scoreline up a little further. Manly 48, Western Suburbs 26.
Nice piece of work here by Chris Marland. Just a little bit of ball play, held the defence off, and then Baker quickly out to Ken McGuinness. He shoved away Albert Torrens, who should have done more with that tackle. He just grabbed at him, and then Torrens comes again. Can't stop Kevin McGuinness.
Western Suburbs actually scoring 22 points to Manly's 10 in the second half.
Well, that'll please Coach Tommy Rokas. They've certainly put their best foot forward in the second half, but 48 points to 26. It's like an Aussie rules game.
Well, I mentioned earlier, both teams have had a woeful defensive performance right through the season. They've conceded over 30 points a game, basically. So I guess coming into this, you might have expected a scoreline like this, but knowing they're playing for the wooden spoon, it looks like West are going to get it this season. Manly now should be clear of it. They're down the bottom. You think it would have been a desperate encounter where they would have lifted their defence. Instead, they've opened up.
It would have been good for their confidence had they have managed to keep Western Suburbs out for maybe just a try or 2. Western Suburbs on tackle 5 to play at 8 metres on Manly's side of halfway. From Marland across to Goodwin.
Offside.
John Hopper-Wate. Gee, I'm not sure you want to be kicking to him. Not the way he's going today anyway. And look at him going upfield.
He's
brushing them off like flies, Big Hopper.
Somebody
He's beaten 14 of them so far, and they finally get him. It took a sledgehammer, but they got him.
Why would you kick to him? Here comes Tierney now, another big man.
Tuvey.
Way to Owen Cunningham. Scandalis comes up with it for Western Suburbs. Georgialis, spectacular dive there by Matt Fuller. Easiest tackle that return he's ever had to make. Hodgson. He'll play at about a metre on his own side of halfway. 48 to 26, 2.5 minutes remaining. Competing Harvey Howard, taken from the field about 6 or 7 minutes ago with a leg injury. Hodgson trying to rubber kick the ball through. They've come up against Western Suburbs. Scandalis, he thinks about kicking, throws it out the back. Hodgson was there. He decides to give it a miss. Picked up by Terry Mesher. Back to Steve Georgialis, who gets the 4-pointer.
Oh, luck's a fortune rugby league. It was just thrown about everywhere. But fortunately for Western Suburbs, one of the few pieces of luck they've had this afternoon, although you make your own luck.
48 to 30.
There was just a little dribble through. It was Scott Hodgson, bit of luck there. And then we see Georgialis scoop it up on the inside, back on the inside there to John Skandalis, and he doesn't know where to throw it. Throws it back, and then the ball goes astray. Mesha looked like he was going to score here. A beautiful offload on the right-hand side, and Georgialis claims a very, very, very good try there.
At 48-30. So Manly coach Peter Sharp will not be happy with this at all. I know I'm stating the obvious, but bearing in mind his side led 38-4 at half-time. Wests have absolutely hammered them in the second half.
Well,
in terms of points scored.
He could question their concentration, couldn't he? It's not easy. Georgialis, you know, you've got to give him a rap between a tough day for Western Suburbs. But Georgialis, always around the football, always doing his best. Him and Cherry Mesha as well.
And I don't think, regardless of the scoreline, if you're a team that boasts names like Kosef, Gartner, Menzies, Cunningham, Tuvey, Lyons, Hill, you wouldn't think they'd capitulate defensively in the second half the way they have.
He's kicked it.
Here's a kick now from Travis Baker. And successful. 48-32. Well, that scoreline looks a lot better if you're a Western Suburbs fan now, Warren Bolt.
It does. Scott Hodgson, it looked almost like it must have come off his body, not his hands, the second time, and able to keep play going. John Skandalis looking around for support, and Cherry Mesha eventually turns up to pick up the loose ball, and that's a reward for him because he's always near the ball, always plays wholeheartedly, as does Steve Georgialis. And here comes Mesha, picks it up, and very smart play. That was a lovely pass out the back, and Georgialis backing up, and he does deserve that try. He's a hard worker, Steve Georgialis.
10 seconds remaining. There's the Manly coach, Peter Sharp. If you wanted to see tries in a game of rugby league, you've watched the right game. 15 scored in this match so far.
A try fest.
When touch footy.
Siren will sound any tick of the clock. In fact, it just went off in the background now as Tate Mosley takes the last tackle of the match, and Manly 48 defeating Western Suburbs 32. And a try fest, we've used the word all afternoon, it just about sums it up best.